December 26th, part 2. Alright, the totem log, I'll do a little more detail here. Drill the bottoms, or the tops of the discs fairly deeply. I drill the bottoms of the disc kind of shallow, just little dimples there. I keep them all in order so they're nice and stacked up. And we're going to add our spawn now. Here's our spawn. Got to open that up. Alright, I got my spawn opened up. I'm going to break that up a little bit. Oh, it's pretty. It doesn't have much of a smell. It does have a little bit of that fermented smell in there. I don't talk of the sweet smell or the good smell. That's kind of a fermented wood. It's not like bad. But anyways, let's get some of this broke up on here. Now I did alcohol wash my hands, and I spread a little bit of my magic water around on here. These beans are a little bit soft. They're starting to break up. So I'm just going to kind of rub this down into the holes, try to get some good penetration and saturation of the spawn down in the holes and all over. I guess I could use my funnel and my push rod for this too, but I'm just kind of winging it here to make a quick video. So I'm just pushing this all in, and I can add, smushing those, yeah, those beans are getting, or those rye berries I guess you call them, they're getting all a little soft, squishing around, and all that mold stuff, that's my spawn, that's the good fungus we want. So we're just going to squish these all out, make a nice layer there. We can add a little bit of our hydrated wood chips over here. I got some of the fresh sawdust mixed with some magic potion and the my miracle water here, a little bit of molasses in there, a little micronutrient azomite will probably my other logs, oh, I didn't mention that maybe. My other logs, which are right here, right there and right there, I checked them yesterday and they seemed to already be fused together a little bit. I tried moving the top cap and it was, seemed like it was stuck on there a little bit. So that's a good sign. That means they're just going to dip into the bag here, get a little bit more of this stuff. They say you want to have a 10% mix when you're doing this in a bag. So you want to have a pretty good overwhelming colony of your good stuff in there when you start this. Alright, so then I just take that and I'm going to unstack this other pile here and stack this. Alright, so there's my bottom stack. I took some spawn and a little bit of the, I pushed some of the spawn, or the, the spawn berries and pushed them into the holes. Got a little bit of coffee on there. And moistened it a little bit with the water, and I'm going to flip this over on here. Where's my index mark? Should be pretty close. Yeah, there it is. I got a chainsaw mark down the side here where it'll line everything up and keep that log nice and even, instead of the discs being out of slatch and starting to tip and stuff as it's going up. It'll keep it all nice and flat and even. I'm just going to squish that together and then do the rest of the layers on there. Alright, well that was a really fluffy white chunk of spawn there, so I took and just kind of loaded it into all the holes individually, filled them up a little bit. There's a little bit of gap, a little bit of space in there, but it's mostly pure spawn. And I'll take and sprinkle my magic coffee grounds on there. And of course I moistened the log a little bit with the my water nutrient mixture. I'll sprinkle a little bit of this sawdust on here. It's a little bit dry maybe. I'll add a little more water to it. There's going to be wet and dry pockets in here. It's just going to drain, it's going to dry, it's going to rehydrate. It's not like growing in a bag. It's a natural, more lengthy process, I guess you would say. Try to pile up some of the sawdust around the edge, make a nice wall around there so I don't have any gaps. Take a little bit of care, and you can always sprinkle a little more of this hot spawn in there. That stuff looks really good the way it's white and fluffy like that. And I can spread it around on the top of this a little bit too. Maybe just leave it sit up there while it's waiting. We'll make a nice little edge around here. Right there. Oops. Try to do this backwards. That's pretty good. I don't want it too sterile. I want it to be able, I want a strong culture in there that's going to be able to kick no matter what. And if you have a high enough percentage, it's got a good chance. So all this week, temperatures are going to be in the 80s, kind of warm, but I think this pink oyster actually does better, or does well in the warm, so it should be fine. Okay, got a couple berries on there. Dump those on there. Where's my chainsaw mark? Index that onto the log layer. There we go. Give that a little, there, nice and even. I'm not going to smush it down too much now. It'll get smushed at the end. And oh, this layer came out so good. It looks like a cake or a cookie or something. Come on, focus. Focus. There you go. I put mostly spawn on it, and it was that really fluffy spawn like that right there, kind of. So I chunked it up and I spread all spawn in the middle of this. And then I drilled a couple little holes to get some fresh little shavings going there, and I mixed it in, and I put a couple more drops of water on that, and then I built up a nice little edge layer of fresh sawdust from all the drilled logs around the edge, make a little spongy edge, so when I put that next layer on, it will squish in and just fill all that up, made it nice and flat and level across there. Just put a little bit of water and coffee grounds on that top there. So I know they like coffee grounds. I'm going to just set that on there. And of course I rolled it in the water and just kind of pre-moistened everything a little bit. I got to get this lined up right here, right there. Perfect. Ooh, right there. All right. Okay, that looks good. All right. All right. I got 3 more layers to go. All right. Well, that goes all the way to the top. You get the idea.